right. Hi, everyone. We are live, so please let me know if you are here by putting a little heart. And we did have some questions that were in the community that I will get to. But if you have a question while we're here, please go ahead and put it in the chat and we will get to that. Let me fix my hair here. Okay, so one of the questions that I'm just going to go by memory. So if this is out of order, so one of the questions was what kind of foods are helpful for us right now? So I'm going to go ahead and start with this question and I'm going to go right into channel. So here we go. So the question is what kind of foods are most supportive of our evolution right now? Each body will be at a different level of density. So there is no one right answer. One thing that we recommend adding into your diet or supplements is anything that is boosting mitochondria health. The reason for this is the mitochondria holds the ascended DNA. The healthier the mitochondria, the healthier the ascension process will be. As the body begins to vibrate at higher frequencies, less dense foods will be needed. You will organically move towards things like greens and not animal products. Anything that is of a denser level will feel less appealing. In time, you will also move to wanting more water than food, as water will begin to hold a spin state that will work with the mitochondria and fascia system. So, though there is no one right answer, the thing that we do recommend is attuning to your body's needs. In the ascension process, there will be times that more protein will be needed. So, this does not mean, depending on where you are in the ascension process, that you should cut out meat products. Listening to the body is most important, as there is a time within the mitochondria boost that lots of protein will be needed. You will crave the protein. Always listen to the body. As the ascension process and how food will ascend with the body will feel natural, easy. If it feels complicated, it means that the programming of the mind is interfering with the body's needs. Simply relax into the body's needs. Allow the body to ask for what is needed. Always support with greens and mitochondria enhancers. Okay, so that was, please let me know that you're here by just putting a little something in the chat if you have a question, because otherwise I'm going to go with the ones that were in the hi Neil, and we have Kathy. Hi, Kathy. It's good to see you. There was a question that also was in the forum, and it was, I'm not going to remember it completely, but it was something about connection through emotion and even kind of having the what a lot of people would call chords in connections, and that when we start to move out of emotional connections based in emotion, or even I would say even more accurately, connection in programming, right? So what is actually creating the connection? And a lot of times in the old paradigm, or when we were in that two-strand DNA system unconsciously, we will create connections based on either getting something out of the connection, or it will be brought together into places of mirroring a wound. And so the wound creates a connection. I would love for you to do a thumbs up if you have had a relationship like that. One way that that could look is that you get into a relationship where you're seeing someone's potential instead of seeing what they really are. And this is the part of you that's wounded, that's connecting with the other person that's wounded, instead of actually coming in from the highest frequency. Relationships, I feel, are going to continue to ascend as we move into the 12 strand DNA system. And I know for myself, it's the thought of going into a relationship in what we would call the primal aspect of a relationship, meaning going into the chemical, the oxytocin, and getting to know somebody based on a chemical. I just can't do it. And it feels I guess, too dense is a way to say it. So we're going to go ahead and I think we'll just keep the question as what is the question? I think let's just have the question be, as we ascend, how do we release the connection based on programming and allow it to ascend? Let's just make that the question. And then hopefully that will answer the question that was in the form. And then I see there's a couple questions coming in. So we'll definitely get to those too. Okay, so we're going to start with this one. Okay. As 12 strand DNA system fully activates, will shift. Connection will be a reflection of divine frequency. In relations, it will have purpose of reflection, allowing higher perspectives of evolution to come in. When in relationship and moving past an emotion connection, it will simply be a shift of perspective. As one begins to move into higher operating system, the connection will feel different. Most often, it will feel more pure. It does not mean that both people will have the same experience, but the one that is focused on 12 strand DNA system activating will organically move out of reaction to simply reflection. Conversations will become more meaningful. As the 12 strand DNA system activates, relationships become pure expressions of source. The one that is holding consciousness in higher operating system will begin to see relationships differently, experiencing them differently. The difference of frequency within relationship will be noticed in the beginning. Does not mean that it is wrong or bad. It is simply showing information. As 12 strand DNA system stabilizes, it will be easier to be on different frequencies within relation. There will be a time where it will feel uncomfortable, the friction of the two frequencies. This does not mean that the relationship needs to end. It simply means that your consciousness has the ability to see or read the information of the difference of frequency. If done from a place of outside of programming and allowing 12 strand operating system to fully come online, shifting the way that the body responds to lower frequency. We will give you an example. In 2 strand DNA system, the mirror neurons will organically lower frequency to match environment. As 12 strand DNA system turns on, the higher operating system will reflect the frequency of source, as it will be a transmitter. In this way, the particles that are within the environment will match the transmission. In this way, the frequency will not lower. This will also allow all relationships to be experienced through the divine frequency. If a relationship is over and there is a wound or an attachment to the relationship, you can simply ask for higher operating system to turn on. Ask that the transmission of the divine move into the particles of connection, allowing connection to continue high self to high self, and then experience what it feels like to release with love, as all are connected within the unified field, though the relationship may have severed within the physical, it will always remain in the higher frequency, the unified field. Okay, I actually really enjoyed that one. I'm going to have to go back and listen to it. Okay, so let's see here. We would like assistance with clearing any interference with the frequency of sleep. Okay, so why don't we just do a transmission for, I'm just, we'll say, because if you think about what sleep is, it's the rejuvenation process, but it also gives us a break consciously. So we will do a transmission for sleep, and then we'll just kind of see where they go. I'm kind of curious to see where this goes. Hi, Brenda. I'm just kind of seeing who's here. It's Kathy. Okay, all right, let's go ahead. Transmission for sleep. This is, I mean, we all can use this one. Okay. Transmission activation. Sleep through 12-strand DNA system connecting in higher operating. 11, 2, 1, 6, 8, 5. Releasing transmission. Breshata kompoko sharanta si chukotu. Baranshata kashita kampra. Goshti. Releasing frequency from pineal gland. Activation, narrow pathways. Restructuring particles of brain. Particles of body. Holding vibration. Higher operating system, allowing the body to sleep through all 12 strands, allowing healing, rejuvenation, a reset of body through all 12 strands. We will release frequency of equation through our language. Korashidakam pokoshtin breshi Prakashanakam prashadakampu koshtkandi. Doshkin, allowing consciousness to experience sleep, all 12 strands. Kanshirashotoko oshtin, as 12 strands activate during sleep, boosting DNA of mitochondria, allowing body to sleep multidimensionally, interdimensionally, holding vibrational pattern beyond limitation of third dimension. Brain conchosa capra, kush cambarensi, kararashata katako, prush kadibi, tikaranta kachiro, barashi tikitikotos consi, conche de casotu. Restructuring as complete, we will end transmission, stabilization of particles, stabilization, consciousness, stabilization, biology, stabilization, ascending biology. This transmission will be beyond our words. Beginning transmission now. Transmission is now complete. Okay, that one was super amazing. So thank you for that. Who knew that asking for a transmission for sleep could be that cool? Okay, so let's go to the next one. Okay, family of origin. Can we hold them in the field? I have all my siblings together tomorrow for the first time in such a long time. Okay, this is so beautiful. And I say, let's just do a transmission for family of origin to be held in the unified field. We all could use this too. And also to experience what that is. So this is exciting. Okay. All right, family of origin, unified field. Activation, 12 strand DNA system. Ascending, family of origin. Ascending. Connection, unified field activation, 963. First activation, frequency, divine love. Connection, family of origin. Connection, unified field. Prishkumbre setakasokontrishkan. Barasha toko shotokampra. Okon shitaki. Barasa sakontusht kiting. Activation. Connection. Electrons of heart. Connection. Electrons of heart of family of origin. Connection. Electrons. Unified field. Transmission 963. Divine love. Brushet kum prushikiti kumpre, kostosh kumpri, gunmanikashada kashita kusho. Activation of consciousness connected to unified field. Connection of family of origin. Transmission into consciousness now. This will be beyond our words. Transmission is now complete. That was really beautiful. Thank you for that, Kathy. Okay, so please detail to discern between non attachment outside the matrix, but playing in the imagination versus divine roles in co creation in the highest timeline. Detail to discern from non attachment outside the matrix, but playing in imagination. Okay, so I'm just going to go in. This is when I wish that I could hear the question so that I can hear it for a little bit deeper. But we're just going to go in. All right, here we go. As you hold consciousness outside of the matrix, imagination will not be as you experience it within the matrix itself. Within the matrix, imagination pulls on information through observation of the distortion of the matrix itself. As consciousness moves beyond a programmed reality, it will receive information from beyond the matrix. This state will feel different than the state of imagination within the matrix. It will feel as though, in your language, downloads. You will simply have a burst of information. This could be seen through higher vision. It could be a knowing, something that you hear or sense. In creation outside of the matrix, there is a space where it will feel as though you are detached from reality. The detachment is simply consciousness moving into a state that is not attached through the observation of what has been repeated in the past. To create outside of the matrix, consciousness will be held in an unknown space for periods of time. This allows consciousness to adjust to higher frequencies of reality. Until consciousness adjusts to these higher frequencies of reality, it may be that imagination is used to occupy consciousness so that consciousness can stay open to creating versus repeating programs of the past. This can be allowed as intuition drops into imagination. In the beginning, it may feel as information or downloads, information outside of the programmed reality can be mistaken for imagination. As imagination is something that the brain will process. The more that it is processed, the more interference will come in. The solution, allowing consciousness to stay in a state of openness when information is dropped in through intuition, you simply allow the information to be seen without bringing it through a storyline. The more that it is processed through the programmed brain, the more distortion will come through. If information has dropped in, you allow consciousness to continue to open. This can feel like a divine treasure hunt. Instead of searching, you simply wait for the next clue, receive the clue, and then do what the clue has asked you to do. You will receive another clue. These are the way that the divine frequency will activate within consciousness. Consciousness will simply stay in an unknown space for long enough periods of time. It attunes to frequency of information. Information is received, and then consciousness moves back into a tuning process until more information comes through. This will be the creation of fifth dimension. As to hold consciousness in unknown space allows reality to be informed through a frequency beyond the matrix. Okay. I hope that answered your question. Let's do, okay, using the tools of the magnets for healing self. Okay, so I'm not going to go deep into this one just because not everybody was part of that. But what I will say, Sandy, is that I've been using it on Roger. And so I just put the magnets in place and I'll let it run in the reflective, and then I'll turn them and then let them go into the pulling position. So if I'm doing it on myself, I will do it on him as he lays next to me. So it's something we do together. All right, so let's go to, we just have like 7 minutes left. So we'll go to, I'd like to clear financial, like clearance for financial in the time of now. So I'm guessing we're just going to be clearing any financial blocks. I feel like we all can use these at times. So let's go ahead and we'll do an abundance activation and clear. I think we had one of these last times and it was so much fun. So let's just go ahead and do this. All right, so just shutting your eyes and allowing yourself to move into a space of neutrality. Activation. We will first begin with clearing process. Inside the pineal gland, we activate control Q-trait, intention, clearing financial blocks. You will begin to feel the control Q-trait as it spins in pineal gland. As it spins, bringing subconscious, conscious, higher consciousness into control Q-trait. Activation, 0 point technology. Spin, state 963. You'll begin to feel the spin technology in center of the mind. Activation, all cells of body. Clearing financial blocks. Clearing financial misunderstanding. Borshkambre shekatis sokushun printki. Korashatakapra. Boshkunpri. Activation. Intention, financial ease, grace, overflow, abundance. Abundance in frequency of source. Releasing financial flow, overflow, abundance, ease, grace. Releasing intention into control Q-trait. Allowing intention move into 0 point. Activation squat technology. Spin state 963. Brashe tukum prukushitukum. Brashe tukush. All particles. Wave state. 0 point. Consciousness. Connection. 0 point. Clearing epigenetic. 315687. Activation. Divine abundance. Transmission beyond our words. We will now release equation of quantum mechanics, allowing particles of body and reality hold vibrational frequency. Divine abundance. Grace kumbrosha takashin takarasha tako. Ush kumpri takan brash zakoto. Stabilization. Activation. Divine expression. Connection to consciousness. Grisheta compresi chutokum brunskweshi. Realignment of nervous system. Neural pathways. Activation of conscious system. Communication command. Divine abundance overflow. Blueprint put in place. Particles stabilized. Transmission is now complete. Okay, so that was amazing. So I think that we're going to be out of time. We only have 2 minutes left. So if you have a question that hasn't been answered, you are welcome to go into the community. It's free to join. You can just go to Becoming Bioquantum, go to the community and put your question there. And I will go in the next few days and answer them inside of the community if you still have a question that hasn't been answered. So I just invite you to do that. And I just love you all so much. Give me a little heart goodbye. And I will see you very soon. Thank you for spending this time with me. Love you.